There's just no way. After they released Kartetia and Lupa, which is already a huge must-pull for me in terms of their designs and animations, I mean, they look sick. But Kuro got the balls to actually tease more characters in the 2.4 trailer. Look, I got 30 pulls with no guarantee. I have my eyes set on Kartetia and her weapon, and I know that I ain't getting Lupa already, because whatever rewards they'll be giving for 2.4, it is only going to be enough for me to guarantee one characters with their signatures. One thing I have to give it for Wuthering Waves devs is that they know how to make the characters' designs eye-catching. Hey, first off, let's go ahead and check on Phrolova. So Phrolova has been one of the first few characters that got teased with Scar. I did had plans on pulling for her, but after seeing all the other characters that has come up, I'm not too sure about it anymore. And now I'm just curious to see like what are her kits gonna be like. If her kits fit my playstyle, all the characters that I have own already, I might actually pull for Phrolova. But if not, there's a chance that I just skip her. Despite how good this character looks, there's just more characters that I'm now interested in. We don't really know what her weapons are gonna be like. As a matter of fact, we don't know any of these characters' weapons are gonna be. Because you know how Wuthering Waves goes, like all these characters, they might even not use the weapon that... I mean, this one is kind of obvious, she holds a gun, so she's probably gonna be using a gun. But we don't know what she's gonna be using. We don't know what she's gonna be using, right? She has a sword right here. She could be a sword user. But then again, you think about Zani. She uses a shield, and all of a sudden we have her as a gauntlet user. And the shield turns out to be a great sword. But I'm assuming that she's probably gonna be a rectify user. I don't look at leaks on this one, alright? I have no idea, but my assumption is for her to just be a rectify user. So if you don't already know, in Wuthering Waves, if you see the Tesa mark right here, she is a guaranteed 5-star. She is gonna be a 5-star unit. As you can see, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, right? There's 5 points in her tasted mark. If the character is a 4-star unit, there's only gonna be 3. This is something I've searched in Reddit, and they've already shown a lot of proof. I'll show you in the screen if I come across it again. But yeah, Chisa, I'm kinda sad that she's not gonna be a 4-star. I mean, all these characters looks like 5-star, right? And we are lacking quite a bit when it comes to 4-star in these games. And Chisa, despite me liking her design, I don't think she should have been a 5-star. I know some of you like for her to be a 5-star, but we are lacking so much 4-star that can support our DPS. And that to me just doesn't seem right, that all we get is 5-star and the supports that we get in the future is also gonna be 5-star. We need a non-damage dealer and a support unit 4-star that can continuously give buff or apply elements to the enemies. Like for example, we need Zani to have a support that can apply Spectral Frazzle, and those supports doesn't need to deal any damage at all, they just need to apply Spectral Frazzle. And now Chisa here, she looks great, but what she's wearing is just a good old fashion of a schoolgirl outfit. Don't get me wrong, I think her design is nice. I like her facial expression, but she's just a black long hair character with a schoolgirl outfit. Sure, her weapon is nice, but you can give that kind of weapon to any characters and it will look great on them. She should have been a 4-star, but Kuro say no. We're just gonna continuously bring out 5-star units. You just gotta understand how broke the players are at this point. I mean, I can't continuously pull every single patch like this. Even if you're a low spender, you can't possibly get all the characters without spending hundreds or thousands of dollars into this game for just PNGs, right? I mean, you're paying for a couple of units, not a whole game. And that to me is just crazy that we are still getting all these 5-stars instead of focusing a bit more on the 4-stars or giving free 4-star characters units that can support our main DPS. Now, moving on to Qiuyuan. Now, Qiuyuan is also one of the characters that I'm interested in because of how rare male characters are in Wuthering Waves. It makes me want male characters even more because of that. And yeah, I think I know what Wuthering Waves are trying to do here. They give out spotlight for male characters very rarely, right? Even through these drip marketing, there's only one male characters. All of these characters are mostly females, and we only got one male characters. And that put this guy into such a rare state that everybody have their eyes set on him. I mean, I don't know what this guy is using. It looks like a fishing rod, but then you see this thing on his shoulder and it looks like a camera or something. It looks pretty weird, but I don't know what it is. I have no clue what the story goes for this guy. He looks like he's gonna be an aero unit, but you know how Wuthering Waves goes. They don't really play by the rules. Just because the character has a green color shading on it, doesn't mean they're gonna be a wind element. Next thing you know, he's gonna be a fusion character. Who knows, right? And speaking of fusion, this is guaranteed gonna be fusion because they say right here, devil ever bathe in purifying flames. And there's also a teaser that shows that there's like burning flames in her symbols. She looks great, but I have to admit that her designs are quite simple compared to the other characters that we've gotten. And I just really like to point out, just because I say that some of these characters that has simple designs doesn't mean that I hate their designs. I genuinely love their designs, but we need more 4 stars. You have to admit the lack of 4 stars in Wuthering Waves, that might actually ruin the F2P experience. Alright, that might actually ruin new players' F2P experience on starting the game. That is something that bothers me. For players like us, we might not have a problem at all. We can just get these characters in later patches. It's fine, we can wait. We already have all the characters that we can complete the games with, all the endgame contents we can complete already. But yeah, genuinely like her design. She looks like she has this feather thing just like Yang on her hair. So maybe they're acquaintance, who knows, maybe siblings or something. Heck, some people even point out that this is Yang in 5-star form, which is probably not true because the name here, Galbrena. Very cool design, very nice, very slick. Now, you might disagree with me on this one. I know she's gonna be a 5-star, but my god, I think she has the most simplest design out of all these other characters. Alright, that is just my opinion, alright? That is my opinion. I think she has a very simple design compared to the others that we've seen. I understand that she has a lot of details in her clothing. It looks very cool, very nice. And if you haven't noticed already, I also think she's gonna be a 5-star because there's this one detail on her foot right here. There's a taser mark that shows like around 1, 2, 3, 4. She's definitely a 5-star unit. And I also very much like where Wuthering Wave is going for like a Greek mythology and gladiator outfit for these new characters. It looks very nice. I like it very much. And Augusta especially looks the most inspired by gladiator outfit. We even have the sword and there's a shield or whatever she's holding right here. It looks very warrior-like-ish. This is gonna be funny, but she's obviously look almost exactly alike Mavuika, but better. And that's what the news has been going. If I were to show you the comments right now, yeah, you will see a bunch of Mavuika comparison. We'll continue to see a bunch of Mavuika jokes landing here and there, and how everybody is making fun of how Genshin basically ruined Mavuika's design. There's actually a very good Mavuika design in Mavuika's own trailer, and they kind of didn't take that design and decide to use her wearing a spandex, which is very weird. Mavuika also has a design where she's wearing a gladiator outfit. She looks nice. She doesn't look as bad as she is now. This is what you might call a Mavuika but better right here. This is what Mavuika should have looked like. And yeah, I have to admit that this is gonna be a character that I will be pulling for. If I don't get the other characters, it's fine. Because of Augusta right here, all my pulling plans yeah, is completely ruined. And I think it's okay if I missed on Phrolova. I'll be continuing to save all my pity. And I don't really care too much about Chisa because I do think her outfit looks kind of plain. I've seen this kind of designs in so many animes already. I'm alright with not getting it. Unless her kits or her playstyle is completely game breaking, right? That might change my mind, who knows. I'm okay with not getting Qiuyuan, even though I'm very much interested in all these male characters because they're very, very rare, right? I'm also not really interested all that much with Galbrena right here. I think her designs is cool. I think her using a blue flame as a fusion element instead of red, unlike all the others, is very unique. But yeah, she's not very eye-catching in comparison to Augusta right here. And I'm definitely not getting Luno. Even if she becomes like one of the best support in the game, I still probably won't get her. Just because I don't like looking at her all that much. I think her design is way too simple. Augusta on the other hand, this is a must pull. But yeah, that is all for the video. And of course, I'll be covering the 2.4 livestream as well after uploading this video. And if you have already watched the livestream, let me know what you think about the rewards. Let me know what you think about the events. And I would love to hear your opinion on these new characters, all the drip marketings that you see here. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one. See ya.